Friday, we made it. Happy to be with everyone. The weekend on the horizon. What's up, RC? How you doing?
What's happening? Just, once again in here, in studio with you.
That's right. Me and you just freezing in New York. Meanwhile,
hey, where are these guys?
Where are these two? We've got Stephen A. in L.A., Cam Newton in Atlanta, down in warmer weather. Hello, everyone. Good morning and happy Friday to ya.
Good morning, good morning. It's great to see y'all. It's great to see Cam. It's great to see you. It's great to see Zoolander. Zoolander, the black Zoolander sitting next to you, Shay. I mean, this is the male model that is Ryan Clark. I got it no matter what the weather conditions are, whatever. This brother is going to be dressed in a very, very unique fashion. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
Good. I see you dressed like a Pittsburgh Steeler over there, though.
Oh.
Well, it's blue. It's actually blue. It's actually blue. It's not black and yellow. It's blue. But that's all right. It's all right.
That's okay. Dan's not here for him to give him the business, so he had to give it to you. That's why.
Good.
Let's go to this weekend. We got some good football this weekend, right? Seattle, the 1 seed, is going to host the Niners on Saturday night. But today, the day before the game, the question is, will their quarterback be 100%? Yesterday, Sam Darnold felt something in that oblique. He left practice, sat out as he worked with trainers, while backup Drew Lock took some first-team snaps. Sam Darnold is expected to play in tomorrow's divisional round. Here he is on the injury.
In routes on air, just kind of felt a little something in my oblique. Just didn't want to push it. Wasn't the day to push it, so that was it. So just came inside, got some rehab, and feel like I'll be ready to go for Saturday.
What percent of you thinks you might not play it?
Very low percentage, probably closer to 0.
Okay, so Sam Darnold obviously downplaying this injury to his oblique, but not taking every single first-team rep 2 days before this big game does concern me a little bit, especially coming off the bye. Where's your concern level for Sam Darnold?
My concern level is not high, but there is some concern because it sounds like the setup for an excuse. It sounds like the things that you say before a game when you don't play well, when the throws aren't where they're supposed to be, everybody can point back. But you have to remember, he didn't get those first-team reps, and his oblique was tight on Thursday. This is the biggest game in Sam Darnold's career. This is another opportunity to exercise some of those demons that finished the season along with him when Minnesota lost to Detroit and when Minnesota lost to the Los Angeles Rams in the playoffs. And so if you are the Seattle Seahawks and Mike McDonald's team, you have to be extremely concerned about where Sam Darnold is, not only physically, but mentally entering this game against the San Francisco 49ers.
Cam, where you at on the concern level?
Man, fake news. This is fake news. Anytime you have an injury report coming off of a bye, given the circumstances of this particular game, Sam Darnold, you have to play. I'm not concerned at all. I would be more concerned if Drew Lock was going to be the quarterback behind center, as they conversations and debates often about, do we trust him in these type of moments? Well, games like this gives people reasoning to trust because you have more weapons at your disposal probably than Brock Purdy has. So in that type of dynamic, it's going to come down to Sam Darnold being able to effectively attack the 49ers defense.
I say?
I'll be damned if I'm not concerned. I mean, what have we been watching? What have we been watching? I mean, listen, since the brother threw 4 interceptions against the Los Angeles Rams, they've been relatively conservative. If you've watched him play, RC and Cam know this, they've been relatively conservative, trying to play mistake-free football. I mean, the brother's got about 8 touchdowns and 8 interceptions over the last games. I'm just looking. In the last 8 games, he's had 8 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Now, Seattle hasn't lost, so for that philosophical shift has benefited them, and we've got to pay attention to that, okay? Because it's winning for them, and I expect them to win this game. But I'll be damned if I'm not concerned about Sam Darnold and his potential to blow it. I haven't gotten over what I saw in the postseason last year, that meltdown in the postseason, and I know that I remember that he was sacked, that the Rams were all over him. I get that he wasn't protected that last game when he was in Minnesota. This is Seattle. It's a different ball game. I understand it, and their defense is going to come to the rescue because they're one of the top 2 elite defenses in all of football. I understand it. I get it. But Don't act like this brother can't go out on the football field and potentially lose you a game. This is the playoffs. He is going up against Kyle Shanahan. I'm not going to concern myself. If he tells me he's okay about the oblique injury, good for him, because I want him to be healthy. But I'm not going to act like there's nothing to be concerned about. There is something to be concerned about with Sam Darnold. That is, you know what he can do. You know he can ball. He's not a scrub. He can make things happen. But he can also hurt you and lose a football game for you, particularly at this time of year. The last time we saw him in the playoffs was last year, and that's exactly what happened. So there's reason for concern.
Yeah, I don't love him not taking first-team reps 2 days before a game in an oblique. I've never had that injury. I never played football. But have you? From what I understand, it is a little bit nagging, no?
Yeah, listen, I've had the injury, but I also didn't have to throw footballs. For me, it was about pain tolerance and how much I wanted to run my body into other people. How well could I turn and open and run? And so this is a question for Cam, someone who had to throw the ball to make a living. If your oblique is injured, does that throw your accuracy off? Does that throw your velocity off? Because one thing about Sam Darnold, it's his decision-making, in my opinion, that gets him in trouble. And so if he doesn't have that level of arm talent that we're used to seeing, how much could that affect him? Because I believe that will play into how offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak can call plays this coming Saturday against San Francisco.
Cam, you've had this injury. You're a former quarterback. Please enlighten us. How could this affect Darnold?
Yeah. It affects torque. It affects power, the ability to really generate power, or as some would say, the pop on the ball, so to speak. This is the thing that is glaring here. Sam Darnold's performance changes when he plays one specific team. And that team is not the team that he's going to face on Saturday.
That's true.
Right? When you start to say, hey, how do we analyze this particular person? Everything changes when he plays the Los Angeles Rams. If he's not playing the Los Angeles Rams, then I give him the advantage in this particular case. If you insert the Rams, blue, yellow, white, oh my goodness, who is going to show up for that specific thing? But as far as his oblique and how that injury may impact him as a quarterback, if he's not touched, it's one hit away or one movement away that can flare it up and can throw off everything. But given the circumstances, I don't think that should be any type of detriment to him being the best version of himself.
Go ahead.
You are right. You are right in terms of, it's a different ball game when it's the Los Angeles Rams. No doubt about that. The flip side to it, however, Cam, is this. He does lead all players with 20 giveaways this season. Mm-hmm. He's got 14 interceptions. He's got 6 fumbles lost. So, again, it's not just about him throwing interceptions. It's about getting to him. It's about him fumbling the football as well. It's about him turning over the football. You got to be concerned about that as well. And pressure breaks pipes. Both of y'all know that. And so under this immense pressure, with the expectations being on Seattle's shoulders, because they are the number 1 seed, the road to the Super Bowl in the NFC must come through Seattle and that 12th man. That's an additional piece of pressure that's going to be on the shoulders of Sam Darnold. How he reacts to it, remains to be seen. I think that he'll react to it just fine against San Francisco. If he's going up against the Los Angeles Rams, I think that'll be a far more daunting task for him if it ultimately comes to that. But it's not like it's something that we can ignore. First 9 games of the season, 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, averaged 251 yards passing, throwing the ball downfield. Then had to obviously shift gears philosophically, become a bit more conservative. And that's when you get your 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions over the remainder of the season. So it's going to be about who shows up. But that defense usually has come to the rescue for him on a couple of occasions. We'll see if that happens this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, but talk about though, like, I feel like we're saying you got to throw 4 interceptions for it to be bad. Because what we're masking here is that Sam Darnold has had multiple 2-interception games. This defense is just so dang good, we don't really hear about it. He had 2 against Pitt, 2 against New Orleans, 2 against Atlanta, 2 against Jacksonville, 2 against Tennessee, an interception and 2 fumbles against the Carolina Panthers. Stephen A., you mentioned it. He's had 20 turnovers this year. It's just that when you walk out on the field with the Seattle Seahawks defense, you got a little leeway. It's like playing for the Houston Texans and having a game where you can fumble the football 5 times, throw an interception, and still have a blowout win. That's who Seattle has been this entire season. But what happens if Kyle Shanahan get the Kyle Shanahan this week? If Kyle Shanahan finds ways, even with the debilitated offense, with the roster that's not as strong as it was in the beginning of the season, to create big plays and to create points like we saw him do against Philadelphia? What if Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker Jr. can't have 33 total touches between themselves and carries in the rush game like they did when they played in San Francisco? And it's now on Sam Darnold's shoulders. Are we going to say, oh, he only threw 2 picks? No. That puts your team in a bad position. And so Sam Darnold, who has to protect the football, has to be sure that he can do that above all else as a priority this week, whether it's the Los Angeles Rams or anybody else.
Well, and the other thing that we got to remember is that in the 2 games that Seattle has played San Francisco this year, they've scored a grand total of 26 points.
Yes.
In 2 games. Okay. And San Francisco has scored 20. So, again, the question, one of the other questions piggybacking off of Sam Darnold is, do we